All right, so
Don't hop up here yet.
if you look,
You get to stand in front.
if you look at this, you see that it has posterior basal, lateral basal, and superior apical, and then it has the anterior. So you have a posterior basal, a lateral basal, a superior segment of the lower lobe of the lung, or the apical segment, and then you have an anterior. The anterior is rarely done. Remember, the lower lobe has this little bitty spot anteriorly. The reason being, I'm going to show you the position, but it's rarely done. Because they're at 45-degree ankle and supine. Okay. On your back.
Take you to the children's slide.
Guys, and then the one thing I noticed too when we were doing the middle and lingula is that you guys had them inside lying, put the pillow, and then they would just kind of go back a little bit. You really have to make sure you're rolling them back and get them a quarter turn, because a lot of people are still pretty much in straight side lying, even though they had the pillows there. So if your pillow's too thick, then grab another pillow, or only use, let some of it hang down and just use a little bit, just as long as they're a quarter turn. Sorry, I got off of that. Just remember that. All of a sudden. So head down degrees, and then you're going to do this over the lower ribs. So, sorry, I just squish your hand. You didn't need that hand.
Get therapy on it later.
Yeah. Job security. Okay. So, percuss. Yay, over the lower ribs. Okay, and then I would have her breathe in. And then you can also do costal expansion here if you want to. But again, this one's rarely done. I just wanted to show it to you. Just because most people cannot, 45 degrees would be higher than this. Okay, and a lot of people can't tolerate that position. Right. So the posterior basal is prone. Do you want pillows under your head?
No.
Yeah. There you go. And easily try to make her as comfortable as possible. Are you okay that way? Do you want like a towel roll under you're turning red? I just want to make sure you're okay. It's like making me nervous.
Prone at how many degrees? 30?
So 45 degrees.
45. Okay.
So when you're doing the lower lobe, if you're in Trendelenburg, it's 45 degrees. Okay. And it's over the lower ribs. So again, I'm going to come in, palpate the lower ribs, follow them in. It's just over to the lower ribs.
You usually just do one side at a time.
I do, because I'm not talented enough to do like this. Unless you can reach them, plus my boot is kind of keeping me from. If you can do proper body mechanics, then you can come in this way. I have some people that can come in like this. That makes this one really awkward, and I feel like it's a waste of time that it's not really doing anything because I'm not doing it right. But if you can do it this way or this way, then that's okay. I just can't do it effectively, so I usually do one hand. Plus, it's very rare that you're going to be draining bilaterally. You might be, but it's rare. Usually it's on one side or something like that, unless they have like CF, and then they just need to be drained everywhere. Okay. All right. So from here we have the lateral basal. Yeah, the lateral basal segment of the lower lobe. Okay. So if we want to do the right side, the right lung, which side does she need to lie on?
On the left.
On her left. And so, okay, and so then if we need to do her left side, she needs to lie on her right. Okay, and from here it's just a quarter prone. Oh, and I don't know, do I have this on? Oh, I did put it on there. I added it. Last year I left it off. Again, she's still 45 degrees head down. Okay, and what I have them do is I usually have them roll up towards me, and I place a pillow. Okay, and then I have them roll back forward onto the pillow. Okay. And then, do you want a pillow between your knees? Would that make you feel better?
No,
You
it's
like it like that?
Yeah, that's fine.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and I'm not liking it because she's twisting her back. Yeah. So So I'm gonna bring this pillow here. Okay, that looks better to me because then there's not a twist. There's not a twisting in her spine. And does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then, bed rail up. I come to this side because I want to see her face, right? Okay. So this is pretty much right where you were. You're going to be over the lower lateral ribs. So it's kind of in the same area that you would have been for the middle lobe or the lingual lobes, that you're going to start mid-axillary and go back over the lower ribs. Can I see that hand placement? Okay. And then you're going to percuss. If you want to use 2 hands, you can. Somebody asked about that earlier. Independent, you may have like a big dude, and so you may have to use 2 hands. You're tiny, so I can get it just with 1 hand. If you do use 2 hands, you're going to probably get other segments that aren't meant, or you'll be kind of out of the area a little bit. So if you do use 2 hands, in practical, I may ask you, where exactly are you supposed to percuss? And as long as you can describe to me the anatomical position, it's fine. Okay. So you percuss, you have them breathe in. How long do you percuss?
3 to 5 minutes.
How many vibrations do you do?
5 to 7.
Okay.
Good.
And then I can add a I was like, okay, we'll just go with it. At least you answered. All right. Any questions about that? So again, make sure she's a quarter turn, and that she's not in a side lying. I see most people. Did I just hit you in the face with that? I see most people when they do the other one with the middle lingular lobe, that when they do the quarter turn from supine, that they end up putting them more in side lying. This one's usually easier. But again, I like it better with the pillow, at least between their knees or under their one knee, just a little bit, just to keep the twisting in the back.
But we're just stating over the lower lateral ribs.
Yes.
If you say where,
But remember I said this one kind of starts mid-axillary, right?
Yeah.
Because the middle lobe's right there.
Mhm.
You're talking about the lateral. So if I see you come more this way, I may ask you, where's the lobe that you're percussing? If you say right here and you keep percussing back here, I'm going to mark off points. If you move your hand to mid-axillary and back, lower ribs, then I'll be fine with that. Okay. Thank you. What else? Oh, the superior apical. Okay. Can you hop down real quick without reading it? This one is actually. If I lift the table, will you take the? Right. This one's actually, you don't need to be elevated. The person's still in prone, but they're going to have 2 pillows under their hips. So once you front up, and that'll be underneath your hips. There you go. Feeling okay? And can you grab me oh, somebody's not videotaping, grab me a couple towel rolls. I just want to show them what I do with the head if it's a because you're comfortable like that. But if it's, depending on the person, if you have a table like that, it has the little things that drop out so they can put their face there without feeling like they're on top of their face or turning their head. I don't like, some people are comfortable like this, so I'll leave them like that. I don't like it when they have to turn their head, so I'll take a towel roll like that. It's a little thick. I'll thin it out just a little bit for you. There you go. And sometimes that's comfortable for them, sometimes it's not. Is that better or no? You like it the other way?
Yeah.
Okay. You sleep like this?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. If they sleep on their tummies, they'll be fine usually like that, but I'm not a fan. So usually I'll try to keep their head straight if they want it, but if it's not comfortable for them, then I'll let them go back to this. So here, 2, and then what I'll do is I'll have them actually hang their arms off the side, and this is just to move the scapula out of the way. Then I've got to find the inferior border of the scapula, whatever side I'm doing, and I'm going to come just below the scapula. Okay, so once the scapula is protracted out of the way, you find the inferior border of the scapula and you come just below it. And that's the same thing. You don't need me to show you again. So, okay. And again, if you're talented and you can come in this way, you can do, if they need both done. But if they don't need both done, then you would only do the side that needs to be done, right? So you could come here